lovies, and welcome back. Today I'm taking you guys on a fun, cutie little bookstore date with me. We're going book shopping. We're going to Barnes & Noble. You guys know what we're doing. You know the plan. You know the routine. We're gonna go to Barnes & Noble today and have ourselves a cutie little bookstore day. I'm gonna bring my laptop and iPad along with me and maybe spend like a little bit of time in the cafe, working, eating. When we go to Barnes & Noble, it's a whole thing. I'm gonna do a little work at the cafe, maybe get a coffee and a snack, and we're gonna scope out the area. I do have like a few things on my radar that I do want to try and get, just because I'm not gonna say it yet, but there's a reason why. I've also patiently been waiting for Elsie Silver's old series to basically be republished by Bloom. They have brand new covers and they're absolutely stunning, and yes, I am definitely getting them because I can't help myself. Elsie Silver is one of my favorite authors, so whatever, I guess. But the first book in that series is set to be released in like a few days, I think. But I've seen people on the internet say that they've actually seen their Barnes put the books out early. So I'm gonna check out my Barnes today and see if they've maybe put the books out early, because if they did, that's amazing. Yeah, we're just gonna have ourselves a fun little day together. I have a lot of work to do and I kind of want to get out of the house and have like a different environment, because I feel like I'll be more productive, and being at the bookstore also is like my happy place. So that's what we're doing today. I hope you guys are excited to come along with me. These are my favorite types of videos to film, and I haven't filmed one in a hot minute. I don't know what's going on with my hair, so we're just gonna ignore that, but I'm gonna quickly change. I wanna wear like something cuter, because we're going book shopping and I like to romanticize my life when I go book shopping and pretend that I'm just like in a romance book. I don't know guys, I don't even know. But I'm gonna change really quick and then we're gonna head out. Really quick, I just want to take a moment to share with you guys my brand new phone cases and tech cases, because they are like the most adorable and most aesthetic cases I think I've ever owned. They're all by the brand Burga, which I've actually used and loved in the past, so it is just so crazy and exciting that they are sponsoring today's video. Burga always launches designs based on fashion trends, so you'll always have the cutest cases in the game. Their cases are super protective, so they'll keep your phone safe, and they're also super durable, so they'll last you a long time. Not to mention, celebrities use their cases, guys, so you can literally pick out a case to match with one of your favorite celebrities like Taylor Swift, Lucy Hale. Their cases are also trending all over TikTok, so you may have already seen them before. I actually picked out a few of mine based on TikToks that I saw because they just looked so cute and aesthetic, and I was like, okay, I feel like my phone needs a refresh. The one I have on right now is Lucky 7. I love this so much. I think it is just so fun and cute. 7 is my lucky number. This case specifically is one of their elite cases though. The inside is also like this nice soft velvet, so I don't have to worry about the back of my phone getting all scratched up. This is the other elite case I picked up though, and it's so cute because it has teddy bears and bows on it. Honestly giving like fall vibes. I also picked up 2 of their tough cases. What I love about these ones is that I feel like they're super sleek and comfortable in my hand. I got this really pretty pink plaid one that I think is perfect for the spring and summertime, and then I got this adorable little Bambi one. My nickname growing up was Bambi, and it's just like kind of stuck with me my whole life, and you guys will never believe what I've done. I bought matching cases for my iPad and laptop. I couldn't help myself. I decided to pick up the Bambi case for my laptop. It also comes with a bottom, which I really like, and then I also picked up the iPad case with it. It's very like thick and sturdy, like you can tell it's a durable iPad case. Their cases have a double layer to them that just adds like extra protection. You don't have to worry about them ever getting scratched up or damaged because they have a really nice glossy finish. And then of course it covers all around the phone with raised edges, so you never have to worry about it like cracking your screen, cracking your cameras. Your phone and devices are totally protected with Burga. And I have some really exciting news for you, because Burga is actually holding a really fun friends and family sale right now, where if you buy 2 cases, you actually get 2 cases for free, which I think is such a steal because these cases are such high quality. You can get 4 cases for the price of 2 using my code ALEX15, and I'll also have it linked in my description. With all that being said though, thank you so much to Burga for sponsoring today's video and having the cutest cases, and let's hop back into the bookstore vlog. picked up some really cool books, and I already know what some of you may say. Alexa, you don't need any more books. And my answer to that is that's just not true. So let's do a book haul. We'll start off with the 3 classics I decided to pick up. I'm not gonna lie, I have been eyeing these for a little while now, and I just decided to finally do it today and get them because I'm nervous that they're just not gonna be there anymore. So the first one I picked up is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Look how stunning this is. The spine, the back, guys, the back. It says, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." I've been wanting to collect classics for a really long time, and there's just so many different like covers and editions at Barnes that I could never decide which ones I wanted to collect. And then I saw these and I was like, okay. Next up we have Emma. On the back it says, "It is such a happiness when good people get together." This aesthetic is literally me. And then last up I got Little Woman. This is absolutely stunning. It's huge. I love the artwork and design of it. Pine is absolutely stunning. Life and love are very precious when both are in full bloom. And then these are the spines when they are all together. I just think they look absolutely adorable together. I'd love to collect more. They had so many other ones available, but I didn't want to like go and buy all of them at once. I'm taking a chance because they might not be available when the time comes for me to go and buy them, but I just decided to pick up 3 of my all-time favorites. I'm just so happy I did because they are absolutely stunning. Next up we have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This is book 1 in the Mortal Instruments. Guys, I've been eyeing this series I don't know, probably since I was like in middle school, maybe I've been eyeing it. I saw the movie when it came out with Lily Collins and I was obsessed with it. It was one of those movies I saw when I was younger and just became super obsessed with it and literally made it my whole personality. So ever since that movie, I have wanted to read this series and get into the whole world of Cassandra Clare because she has so many books, like so many books, and they all intertwine and go together. So today I finally decided to pick up book 1 and I am really excited to jump into it. Something I also really love about her series in general is they have these gorgeous spines, and when they're all lined up together, it makes one massive art piece. And I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited to read about Clary and Chase, and just all of it makes me so excited. I want to recommend it, but at the same time, I feel like it's one of those movies that everybody didn't like, but I really liked it. Next up, we have The Cheat Sheet in the Rule Book by Sarah Adams. Everybody raves about them, and I've also never read a football romance. I also hear that Sarah Adams is like one of those really addicting authors. Then I picked up the first 2 books in the Vancouver Storm series. This is just a set of cutie little hockey romances. I've seen these books for a little bit, but I've never like felt the need to pick them up. And then I made a TikTok, I want to say back in December, it was like holiday time. Chris had bought me ice skates. Everybody in the comment was like, you have to read The Fake Out. They were saying that we were Hazel and Rory coded. I really wanted to pick it up and read it, but I saw that it was book 2 in a series. So I also picked up book 1, which is Behind the Net, and that is all about Jamie and Pippa. I love the name Pippa. That's absolutely adorable. I've also just seen a lot of really fun quotes on TikTok from these books as well. So I'm really excited to try them out. I'm a sucker for a good hockey romance, and then like being compared to like a hockey book couple, I was like, okay, I gotta check it out. I gotta inspect. That's gonna be a lot of fun to read. And then the last book I picked up, they had it out early. I am so happy about it. We have Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. This is book 1 in the Gold Rush Ranch series. I am obsessed with these new covers. I think they are absolutely stunning. All her books take place in the same universe. This series came out before Chestnut Springs, so I'm really excited to read all about it. She writes some of my favorite small town romances, so I have no doubt in my mind that I will absolutely adore this. To end the video out, I'm gonna do my itty bitty May wrap up. It wasn't too crazy of a reading month for me. I only read a total of 4 books, but it was still honestly a really good month for me because all the books I read in May were like hits. Like I genuinely enjoyed every single book I read. First up, we have Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This is actually book 2 in a series. The first book is Belladonna, and then book 3 is Wisteria, and that's coming out in a few months. I am so excited for it. If you're not familiar with the series though, it's basically like a gothic romantasy type of series, and basically our main character is Signa, and she has the ability to see ghosts and communicate with them. The romance in this series is absolutely incredible. It's an enemies to lovers in book 1, and then the romance continues on into Foxglove. But this was really, really good. I ended up rating it 4.5 stars. Belladonna was 4.5 as well. But while reading this, I just felt so strongly about it, guys. I thought it was going to be a 5-star. Literally the only reason why it wasn't a 5-star is because I was just being greedy and I wanted more romance in it, because the romance that is in it, it is incredible. I really, really love her characters in this series, and the chemistry between them is just absolutely beautiful. This was so much fun though. I can't say too much because it is part of a series and it is a sequel to Belladonna. It's a gothic romantasy. Going into it, I was nervous because I've never really read any gothic fantasies or romances before. I was a little bit nervous about that, but I ended up loving it so much more than I ever thought I could. It is a really fun and different type of romance because it's a romance with, but in the middle of it all, there's also like a murder mystery that Signa is trying to uncover. So I really like that aspect of it because it's not just romance. In this book specifically though, we're also getting like a different point of view from another character in the series, and I thought it was so fun, and I'm so excited for book 3. I had so many theories going into this book, and then while reading it, what book 3 was going to be about. When I read the ending of this, I was really happy and proud of myself because I kind of figured it out and figured out what was going to happen. I cannot even begin to explain the excitement I have for Wisteria. I just know it's going to be so much fun because it's going to be focusing on a different character in the series. This book basically sets up book 3, and the way it sets it up, it's so good. I feel like the enemies to lovers in Wisteria is going to be one of the best enemies to lovers books I've probably ever read. And I know that's a wild thing to predict, but I am that confident in Adele and Grace. This is incredible. 4.5 stars. I could not recommend Belladonna enough if you haven't read it. There's also a ton of side characters in it that I really like. Next up, I read Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This story specifically takes place during Powerless, and while Peyton is at the castle competing in the trial, stuff like that, Adina is still back in Lou Alley trying to survive and get by until Peyton comes home. I feel like the way Lauren Roberts wrote this book is she knew what she was doing. She knew she was going to rip everybody's hearts out with this one. Obviously, before you go into this, you have to read Powerless. Already know the story of Adina from Powerless, but in Powerful, you're getting it from her point of view, and it is so like heartbreaking. It was one of the more emotional reads I read, I have to say. It's obviously different for everybody, but I think because I loved Powerless so much and I just adored Adina's character so much, reading her point of view and her story, the entire time I was reading this, I was like, I was sobbing. Like nothing was even happening, but I was sobbing. It was horrible, but it was also amazing. I ended up rating it 4 stars. Lauren Roberts is another author who just has such a beautiful and poetic type of writing style. Adina especially is one of the sweetest and most wholesome characters I have ever read about. She's really selfless and would literally do anything for anyone. And there's so many moments throughout this book where that's showcased, and it's so beautiful. It was really hard for me to read just because I knew what the outcome was going to be, and especially because while Peyton is away, Adina does make a new friend named Mac, and their relationship together is so beautiful. I just feel like they deserved so much more in this series. And this is just the beginning of it. Like, this is the first novella of the series, and Powerless is the first book of the series, so I literally can't imagine what's going to happen. I'm honestly really nervous for this entire series because if I'm already sobbing this hard after book 1 and the first novella, someone send help. I will say too, I think Powerful is setting up a bigger story that I'm really, really excited for, especially around Mac's character. I'm very interested to see how his character kind of plays in to like Hayden's story and Kai's story. I think it's gonna be really cool. So next up we have Finale by Stephanie Garber, another one of my favorite authors. Finale is the 3rd and final book in the Caraval trilogy. I kind of knew like going into this what was going to happen just because I read Once Upon a Broken Heart first. I definitely had like some idea of what was going to play out in this book, but nonetheless I ended up really enjoying this. I really liked getting the different point of views in this book. I really enjoyed Scarlett and Julian's portion of this book, and Caraval, which is the first book, that's all about Scarlett and Julian, and I just wasn't crazy about their relationship or their storyline. But in this book, I feel like I understand the hype behind them and why so many people love and root for them. I really enjoyed that part. And then of course we have Donatella and her her crazy little love triangle bit in here. I thought that was crazy. I have to say though, by the end of this, I think I was still like Team Dante because I just loved Dante's character. We get such a weird first impression on Dante from the first book, but I still really liked him and his confidence. And then in book 2 and following into book 3, I just feel like his character development and everything that happens with Donatella, it was so beautiful. I love the way it played out. I also took so many beautiful quotes from this book. Again, another very poetic author. I really enjoyed it. It was 4 stars. I originally wanted to complete this series this year so I can go back and reread Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm already missing Evangeline and her story and Jack, so I really wanted to complete this series so I can go back and reread that one. But Caraval overall was a really fun series. I'm still really big on the Once Upon a Broken Heart train. And then last but not least, we have A Funny Story by Emily Henry. I actually read this in my May book club and it was so much fun, guys. I have never been a big Emily Henry fan. She's just never been an author that has been one of my favorites. I feel like so many people are obsessed with her, but I just could never hop on the train. This book honestly changed everything for me. I'm gonna start off with saying this was 5 stars. This was my 5-star read of May, which is such a big deal because it's Emily Henry. I loved every second of it and it was a really exciting and big deal for me, and it's actually really motivated me and inspired me to now go back and reread her other books. It's basically about 2 people, Miles and Daphne. Their significant others dump them and end up getting together, and in the middle of all the craziness, Daphne finds herself basically homeless and she ends up living with Miles while Peter and Petra move in together and all this crazy stuff happens. But funny story about how 2 people end up together, and I enjoyed every second of it. There's like a minor fake dating trope in this because Daphne and Miles are trying to make their exes jealous. What really got me in this book is definitely the chemistry between Miles and Daphne. Miles was just always so attentive to Daphne throughout the whole story. The chemistry between the 2 of them was just incredible in my opinion. I'm hanging on to that part so much because that was always my gripe in Emily Henry books. I feel like the chemistry with her main characters were never that good in my opinion, but in this one it was insane, and the side characters in the book are absolutely amazing and super funny. Essentially, this gives off everything we love when it comes to rom-coms. It was my 5-star of May, which makes me so happy. Those are the books I read in the month of May. It was an itty bitty reading month. That is all for my little wrap up and my bookstore vlog. I had a ton of fun today and I hope you guys did too. With all that being said though, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one.